Hi guys, welcome to the second part of our series Realities and People, the art of forgiveness. I truly believe that, scratch that, I truly know that people who have mastered this art of forgiveness are so ahead in so many areas of their life, and that could be relative, it could be whatever, compared to people who haven't mastered it. Main reason being that when applied is one of the most liberating art that anyone could embody. And just like any art, you need to have your own way of knowing how to express it and apply it so that it eventually becomes a skill that you can have in your storehouse where you can actually use it anytime you want, and it can help you cruise through life smoothly. In every working moment, we are met with experiences, situations, events, human interactions, occurrences, everything, and everything is vibrating and everything is in motion and it's all around us. And it could be conscious moments and subconscious moments. This could be thoughts, the actions, the projections. We are in a stimulations, and if you haven't woken up to this art, master it, it can be very unpleasant for you, because its awareness allows you to be able to actually have a little horn understanding of what is actually the effects that are happening to you and what could be the causes of them. Victim sin. This is where other people affect you, other people trigger you, other people, human interaction actually affect you, and this could be through your friends, through your employers. Someone betrays you, an employer shouts at you in front of all your co-workers, and somehow you feel embarrassed and you hold a resentment against them. This is basically an interaction, the victim sin, where you're the victim and someone is inflicting pain on you. The second category is sin on self. This is where you actually sin against yourself, holding guilt and resentment, and it could vary from different categories, but it could be something like finally deciding to take some action and setting your alarm at a particular time tomorrow and actually failing to do so. The third category is sin on nature, because you can't really sin on God, because God is above sin. So literally this is sin on the natural laws of the universe and sin on nature, and this is usually caused by ignorance and lack of knowledge, understanding and application of what we observe, fractal patterns. So these are the macro categories of where we can actually hold on to resentment and guilt on ourselves, on others, on events, on experiences. So usually the result of holding on to guilt and resentment, we find we attract undesired manifestation into our life, undesired reality. Another way could be experiencing emotions of suffering, where we are in our head and we're blocking our awareness due to the holding on to the guilt and resentment that we may acquire from the three ways that we talked about. What usually happens afterwards, when we start observing the undesired realities, or even the emotions of suffering, the emotions of guilt and resentment, you name it, it's a whole lot. Usually that the first thing is like we want to shun them, or we want to resist them, or we want to cast the realities that are manifested to us. And it's important to realize that whatever you resist, you avoid, usually persist. What we forget is that no one has actually the map, and we forget that we are on a learning process, and whatever someone else is doing to us, as much as we may perceive they're doing something to us and hurting us, that can be taken as a lesson where we need to learn, where we need to open our realization and realize that it's information that can help us accumulate on our knowledge and learn and know better. Because literally those people doing whatever they did to you, and you're experiencing a situation that you didn't want to experience, it literally, when you think about it, it has really nothing to do with you. Like, it's just a learning moment, you need to just realize it's a learning moment and ask yourself, what are the lessons I can learn from them, and just glean it. Life is a continuous motion. Life is always moving. Now is always changing, from a past now to a future now. If someone did something to you and you hold resentment against that person, it means that you're just blocking your awareness because you're holding a past now, instead of just letting that go and realizing that it's taking so much space of your future now. The word forgive translates to give completely without reservation, to release, to untie, to let go, to remove the block in your awareness, simply because when you're aware of things that happened, of a feeling or an emotion or a situation or an event that happened to you in the past, it only means that you're still holding on to that. You're still blocking on your awareness that could be used right now to try and focus on something better which is happening right now. Every action has an equal, even, and opposite reaction. It depends on the actions that you take. So if you decide to hold on to resentment, it attracts itself, like attracts like, and it also tags into itself or the relating families that are related to them. When you identify yourself with guilt or resentment, you hold that identity, and universe can sense your antennae, and what happens is that it just reveals to you more of what you're identifying with, and you end up manifesting more of those situations, more of the realities, more of the emotions of suffering that are connected and in directly relation to the guilt and resentment that you continue to hold on. In the Bible, we see that a lot of phrases are repeated a lot for emphasis, and apart from do not be afraid and just be happy, because high vibes attract high vibe experiences, we also see that forgiveness is also very emphasized in Matthew 18:21, where we see Peter coming to the Lord and asking him, Lord, how many times should I forgive my brothers and sisters who have sinned against me? And the reply that he gets is that he should do that 77 times. And 77 is just a metaphor for emphasis that you should forgive until you reach perfection. When you're also identifying yourself with the low vibes of resentment and guilt and all the other associated emotions, you become uneasy and you become dis-ease, and you attract diseases. Diseases are usually attracted when you are in a low vibe, and I know sometimes it's very hard for people to actually understand what that actually means. But there was a study that was conducted by Johns Hopkins Medicine, and they eventually concluded that forgiveness calms stress levels, leading to improved health. Confess your sins so that you may be healed. So forgiveness allows us to be able to let go and know that every moment is a fresh start. You can also look at forgiveness like taking a shower, where you need to take a shower every day. Look at it like you need to keep on letting go, because it's inevitable. We live in a world of chaos. We live in a world where you're gonna be triggered, but you need to master this art of forgiveness so that you can keep on showering, you can keep on letting go, you can keep on knowing that it literally has nothing to do with you. The keys that are important to be able to master and hone on this art. The first one is meditation. Meditation helps calm your mind. It helps you be present. It helps you have more awareness of what is going on around you, to a point that things, when they happen to you, you start realizing and seeing them for what exactly they are, and in turn you start responding to them rather than reacting to them, because you can see through them. And for example, if someone could say something and it triggers you, you actually can be able to slow down and realize exactly what's going on and know how to handle that situation and to respond to it effectively. Another key is knowledge. Knowledge is essential in practicing this art, because, for example, you're watching a video like this, brings your awareness up, it gives you understanding of exactly how you can be able to handle situations. Knowledge allows you to understand that it's not a permanent effect, it can always change. It allows you to know that you're learning, it's just a learning process. The third one is reflection, remembrance, and repetition. This is where you need to know that you're gonna fall asleep at some point, but you need to keep on remembering, repeating it, and knowing that you need to practice it to sharpen the skill so that it becomes autopiloted to you. Just like any skill, eventually it will become your second nature. The key of compassion and empathy, realizing that people who are actually inflicting pain on you, could be your friend, maybe betrayed you, it literally has nothing to do with you. Having empathy to know that they could be in a situation where they just was so in a moody place and they just were reacting based on their own experiences, and it literally has nothing to do with you, literally. And knowing, having compassion for that whole situation, and knowing that everyone is just learning, not holding things with a lot of seriousness, and knowing that everything is changeable, life is malleable, and life can always change. Now let's look at the two techniques that I've been using in my own life, and they have been very effective, and I'm sure they're going to be effective to you. At first they are going to seem weird, but when you do it often enough, the nervous system becomes aware of it and they start being effective. The first one is the one that I've been using for a very long time, and actually I didn't know the name, but it's called Ho'oponopono. The technical way of it is just getting yourself in a prayer mode or in a meditative state, and literally visualizing and imagining the situation or the person who wronged you, and saying these words: I am sorry, please forgive me, I love you, thank you, and repeating it as many times as you can, until you start realizing that when you visualize and you actually visualize that person, you don't hold as much resentment or guilt or negative emotions as you would before. Just repeat it as many times as you want. Revision, Bible Goddard, and he talks about before you fall asleep, you can revise your day and revise the event that happened and actually visualize it the way you would prefer it to happen. The brain has one perspective of the way that thing happened, and when you visualize it the way you'd want it to happen. Eventually you neutralize the situation because your brain doesn't have just one perception of how it happened. You have also visualized it the way you'd want it to have happened, and if you repeat it again, you almost like override it. And right now there are a lot of scientific evidence that shows that you actually visualizing something and living it with your senses, it usually has the same effect on your brain. Quote, you can revise the day to please yourself, and by experiencing in imagination the revised speech and actions not only modify the trend of your life story, but turn all its discords into harmonies. The effectiveness of this practice will grow and will become better as you continue to do it. Revision is the way by which right can find its appropriate mind. Everything that we talked about here is very essential for you to practice it, because you care. You actually care about yourself, you actually care about other people, you actually care about nature. Don't practice this on a basis of I'm just gonna forgive them so that I manifest whatever I want to manifest, or I live the life that I want. Don't blame, only resolve. It is not man and the earth at their loveliest, but you're practicing the art of revision. Make paradise. So guys, thank you for sticking until the end of the video. I hope you found something helpful in this video, and if you have any question and if you like the video, like and comment. I love you guys.